Hi, my name is Garrett Christopher, and this is my YouTube channel. This one's called Garrett's Movie Take. I also have Garrett's Sports Take and Garrett's Take. This one I talk about movies that I deem as the best ones out there. I have it in my personal collection. The sports one is about sports teams that I like for the most part. This week I talked about Xavier Howard and the Miami Dolphins, which is my favorite football team. And Garrett's Take is just talking about stuff in general, right? So if you're seeing this one, please check out the other YouTube channel stuff and let me know what you think. Comments. And if you like it, please subscribe. Also, check out GaretChristopher.com. You'll find out I'm a self-published author, and I've got a weekly podcast available on Soundcloud and Spotify. So please check these things out and let me know what you think. If you hate them, let me know. If you love them, let me know twice. All right, so this week, and I'll say this first before I start in. The first movie that I post-viewed, because they've already been out for quite a while, was The Blues Brothers. So my youngest child, Talia, I'm kind of talking to her about it, and she's the one who's kind of helped me with some of these things, and I'm not very savvy as far as technology, but she's helped me with this, putting it together in the YouTube stuff. And she's like, Dad, this is not a review. You're not reviewing the movie. You're just talking. You're just ranting about things. So I promise in this case, I'm going to get more down to it and be more concrete. It's just, I've got stories to tell. And I love to hear myself talk. So that's why I do that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get right into it. So for this movie post-view, I'm going to post-view The Green Mile. I love that movie. Love it. Everything about it. There's only one thing that I gave a B. The rest were all A's on down the line, and I'll talk about that. But I did some research on the movie. I've seen it several times, probably 10 or 12, and I have the movie. I own it. So, by the way, I own a lot of movies. I'm kind of a hoarder that way. Movies and music, I got to have them. I can't just listen to them or watch them. If I really love them, I'm going to buy them. I want to have them for my own. Very possessive. I'm a very possessive guy. But I did some reviewing, Plus, I saw something just last night that I didn't know. So let me talk about some of the actors. Sorry, I need my glasses to read some of my handwriting. So we know Tom Hanks, right? We know him for sure. We know Michael Clark Duncan, right? God bless you, brother. Sam Rockwell is in it. By the way, one of my favorite scenes with Sam Rockwell, not from Green Mile, but was him in Iron Man. Was it Iron Man 2 or 3? I think Iron Man 2, where he's dancing on stage. I love it. What a great dancer. But I just love his character in this movie. Like all the characters, of course. Bill McKinney has a very small part in this movie. He's one of the guards. He plays a part in another favorite movie of mine, called Every Which Way But Loose. He is one of the Black Widows. Yeah, love it. I didn't know it until I started looking in here as far as the movie, and I wanted to see like what the Rotten Tomatoes score was, who directed it. I didn't know. All this time, I thought it was Steven Spielberg. It wasn't Steven Spielberg. Now, he may have put stuff together, but as far as the actual production, it wasn't him. It wasn't him at all. I'm sorry, I heard a noise and I'm looking at my... No, we're still filming. That's good. Okay, cool. In any case, who else do we have here? Who is this? David Morse. So I love the TV show House. Love it. And I know, it wasn't the best ending, but I really, really enjoy it. David Morse, who plays kind of like Tom Hanks. I had to look to see who that was. Tom Hanks, kind of like main guard there, he plays a section of I think 3 or 4 episodes in House. I can't remember which season, but check it out sometime. Great character. I loved him just as much there as I love him here in The Green Mile. So up and down, just the casting was, to me, incredible. They nailed it on down the line, and each person just did a great job. I think that's the one thing. Well, okay, let me go down the line. Let me go down the line and talk about it. What else did I see that was kind of interesting in here? Stephen King wrote the story, and Stephen King doesn't always like the movies that that people put together from his books, from his novels. He did like this one, from what I understand. I don't know Mr. King, but I understand he did like it, and the producer. Let's see here, Frank Darabont. Okay, and I guess he also does some stuff for The Walking Dead, or is the executive producer for The Walking Dead. So that's probably where you may know him from. But he's in a lot of Stephen King movies. I think he did Stand By Me, and I think he did Shawshank Redemption, which, by the way, did not make my list of top movies. I talked about that in the very first episode of this channel. I'm sorry, I just can't get into it. And again, incredible actors, and here we have the same writer as far as the screenplay and all that, but I just couldn't get into it. Okay, why do I love The Green Mile? And why, if you haven't seen it, why would I want you to see it? Why do I want to sell you on it? And if you didn't like it, you saw it and you didn't like it, why do I think you're wrong? Let's go down the line, shall we? So here are the top reasons as I'm going through and as I'm kind of like looking at a movie. Here's what I'm looking for on down the line. I'm looking at the plot. I'm looking at the screenplay, writer, dialogue, all that stuff. I'm looking at the casting. I am looking at, I can't read this. What is this? Oh, perfect. I'm looking about, as far as originality to it. I'm looking at the directing, the editing, and finally the score or the music or the sound effects even. You know, if the sound effects are like it's some sci-fi movie, I'm not worried about Star Wars music, although Star Wars puts both together very, very well. But yeah, just that, right, type of thing. So I gave A's to this movie in every one of those kind of categories except for the score. And here's why I gave it a B. I can't hum any portion of any piece of music from this movie at all. Anywhere. From the beginning to the end, none of it. So if I can't remember it, not that I remember a lot of things, but I do remember some music and I will remember melodies. If I can't, it didn't stick with me. It didn't resound. And I think this movie specifically, especially the beginning and the ending, there should have been something that was really catchy in there. So that's why I gave that a B. But trust me, if you've not seen it, please watch The Green Mile. The story that Mr. King put together and that they adapted for this screenplay in this movie, to me, just so original. And here's probably the one thing that grabs me the most and why wherever I pick it, if I'm watching television and I hop onto an AMC channel or something like that where they're showing the movie and I could be anywhere in the movie, first, middle, part, anywhere, I will watch it and be engaged because to me, here's the deal. Not only did they cast correctly, and yeah, okay, how can you lose by, you know, Tom Hanks, Sam Rockwell, Michael Hart? Okay, I get it. I get that. But every piece of dialogue that Tom Hanks says in this movie is exactly what I would envision Tom Hanks saying in that situation. And I don't know Tom Hanks at all. I hope to one day meet him. I do not know him. But from his movie and star personification, that's what casting to me is. I don't think you take a person, unless it's a newcomer, right? A new face, but don't take a person who's definitely well established and then shove them into a storyline because you think it's gonna market well. Haven't we seen enough? I'm sorry, I keep looking at the clock. There's gonna be a part 2 of this. Haven't we seen enough of that? Well, where they take someone, this actor who did so well, right, in this particular movie, right? Let me use John Candy for a second. John Candy and Uncle Buck. Oh my goodness, you couldn't have chosen a better person to play that role, Uncle Buck. Now, I personally like Who's Harry Crumb. It's not a good movie, but I like it, mostly because I like him. But it didn't work. They wanted to take, hey, this guy markets well, let's put him here, let's do that. There's tons of reasons why it didn't work, but one of the reasons is that it was just a little too zany. John Candy, who can be zany, was more just like, just real. You know what I'm saying? I've got to end right here. Please, GaretChristopher.com. Come back for part 2 of this, episode 2, part 2. We talk about The Green Mile. All right. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.